as the days keep winding down before opening day, the Yankees make another move, seemingly ending our offseason, barring something drastic happening with Blake Snell. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to King's Speech. I'm your host, the King of 161st Street. Let's get right into it. The Yankees earlier today traded for Caleb Furguson, a lefty reliever from the Dodgers. This is a guy is very highly touted in the league. First of all, we're taking from this powerhouse of the Dodgers, which now has a weird thing with their bullpen where they are basically mainly right-handed. There is not really any lefties in that bullpen. But anyways, Caleb Furguson seems like a great pickup, especially after the seemingly unexpected move by Wandy to go to San Diego. The unexpected moves that we have not gotten Keenan Middleton or anyone of that sort. So to get Caleb Furguson is huge. Part of the reason is he keeps the ball on the ground. 40% ground ball rate is big. Being in Yankee Stadium, you don't want the ball to go in the air into right field. Him having a ground ball rate of 40%. Also, he is in the 97th percentile in the league in barrel percentage. I cannot tell you how huge that is in a ballpark like New York. In this ballpark, you cannot let players get barrels. So to have Jake Furguson to take over the spots of Wandy, of others in that bullpen, it was a huge pickup. I'm seeing a lot of people give this deal praise, but also bring up how little we did in terms of other spots in the lineup and how this offseason may not have been that great. And I want to come on here to basically say, shut the fuck up. We've been calling for this move for years, and Cashman finally got it done when he picked up Juan Soto. We've been calling for that for 4 years. He finally does it. We get our guy, and then we get other guys like Verdugo, Grisham. These are great pickups. And you know what? Let's grade the offseason right now, okay? Let's grade the entire offseason at the moment. In terms of additions, Juan Soto, Trent Grisham, Marcus Stroman, Alex Verdugo, Victor Gonzalez, Caleb Furguson, and Luke Weaver. Now look, Luke Weaver, the John Boy guys like him. It's more of a meme. He's not that great. Marcus Stroman, great pickup. Great depth for that starting pitching staff that isn't that deep. You have guys like Juan Soto, a generational talent you are adding into this offense. Caleb Furguson, this move right here is a key factor for this offseason because we needed more depth in that bullpen, which now just gets even better. This has been a great offseason, and I know Baltimore got Corbin Burnes. I'm listening to Jake on John Boy talking about that move like it makes the Yankees now not even guaranteed third in the AL East. To me, that's just totally out of line based on what the Yankees did to diversify their lineup, which was their main concern. And I know that the key departures were pitching, right? We gave up Michael King. We don't have Wandy anymore. In terms of what our problem was last year, it was the fact that our offense was stagnant without Judge. We were without Judge for 50 games. We couldn't do jack shit without him. Now we have a lineup that can survive without Judge. With Judge is probably one of the best offenses you can make. And it seems like the Yankees have found a direction that they want to go, which is something that you want out of any team trying to contend, is give me a direction. And their direction is, look, we may not have the deepest rotation, but you know what? We're going to fill out that bullpen. That bullpen is going to be fully deep. We're going to hope that if Rodon can step up, if Stroman can stay consistent, Clark Schmidt can take his game to maybe one level higher, right? Maybe instead of being a 5 ERA guy, be more of like a 3.9 to 4 ERA guy. If some of these things happen, which yes, some of the dice have to roll in our favor. Every World Series team has to have dice roll in their favor. The Arizona Diamondbacks were supposed to be dog shit. They had a lot of dice roll in their favor. I don't think anyone really saw the Texas Rangers being a dark horse to win it all, especially without Jacob deGrom. Yet they had some of the dice roll in their favor, and they were able to pull it off. Mainly the Diamondbacks, they were one of the youngest teams. They have a rookie that goes off for 30 and 30. You have a lineup that all of a sudden becomes one of the deepest lineups in the league. It becomes one of the more fun teams to watch in baseball because of their speed. No one expected that. You need that dice to roll in your favor. So yes, the Yankees do need to roll the dice and land on 6. They do need to land a good season by Rodon. I brought it up in a video previously that he is the X factor to this season. If you could have a Stroman at 3, a Garrett Cole at the 1, and then have Clark Schmidt and Nestor Cortez duking it out at 4 and 5. If Carlos Rodon can be a true number 2, which he was supposed to be, and injuries aren't riddling him, because let's look at the Dodgers rotation. They have now, after today, Clayton Kershaw, who has had injury issues, Tyler Glasnow, who they got injury issues. They have a lot of guys in that rotation that aren't healthy and are unproven. Yoshinobu Yamamoto hasn't pitched a single inning in Major League Baseball yet. We project him to be good, but no one knows that. So I don't know why, if we could say Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to be good without pitching a single inning of Major League Baseball, how we could automatically write off Carlos Rodon in having a bounce back season. Carlos Rodon, when right, is one of the better pitchers in baseball. If we get that pitcher, there's no reason we don't win this division and the league itself. There is no reason we can't. With a lineup of Verdugo, Judge, Soto, Glaber lineup with possible leaps from Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells, we saw a possible resurgence from DJ on the latter half of 23. He started to look a little bit more like himself. If these things start to happen, the Yankees are not just AL East favorites, but they are World Series favorites. World Series favorites. And if you look at Baltimore's team, yes, it's good now with Corbin Burnes. They didn't do much on offense to fix them. And I know people are going to say, well, they're young, so they're going to develop, and they didn't really have to change much. They still are a stagnant team. And like I brought up in my last video, potential is not always linear. So yes, we hope a season 2 will be in the cards for guys like Gunnar Henderson. Leaps for Grayson Rodriguez. You would hope that don't always work out. And then we look at Toronto. What the hell have they done this offseason? They haven't done much of anything at all. Other than 2021, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been above average at best. And I know his BABIP was so low that he became one of the unluckiest players in baseball last season. To me, that's not enough to tell me that he is now going to be consistently an elite bat. Right now, he is in the very good category. I don't think just because his BABIP was very low that he's automatically going to leap this year into very good. Bo Bichette is a problem. His consistency at the plate is also a problem for Toronto, and his fielding is absolutely atrocious. You also have a pitching staff that, outside of Kevin Gausman, who are you trusting in that pitching staff? Yusei Kikuchi had one solid year for them, and now all of a sudden he is a guaranteed good pitcher. Alek Manoah just had probably one of the worst years a top 10 pitcher has ever had. He was a top 10 pitcher in 2022. Then come in 2023, he couldn't even pitch against the Florida Complex League Yankees. Like, what are we talking about here? And don't get me started on the Rays, who traded away Tyler Glasnow, traded away a bunch of their guys, and also won't have their shortstop Wander Franco because he's a fucking freak. They do have Vito Brujan in the wings. The shortstop position could be okay, but again, I haven't seen anything from Vidal Brujan to really tell me that he's going to be at the level of a Wander Franco. And then Boston has done literally jack shit. They have done jack shit. If Boston gets a starter, things look differently for Boston, but they still haven't done anything to address any issues that they had last year. So to me, looking at this offseason from an AL East perspective, what have they done compared to the Yankees? And to say we didn't do enough is very disingenuous, at least in my opinion. I think some of these people, again, this is a content world. You have to get your content viewed. This is a views game. What gets more views? Saying shit like that. So I get it, but to me it just feels very disingenuous to be like, oh, I don't think the Yankees could even win third in the league. You think we're going to be fourth again? So you think Tampa's still better than us? I don't see that at all. And look, Tampa is the type of team that you look at them on paper and they're never really as good on paper as they are in real life. They always find a way. This year it just feels different, right? They thought they had a star in Wander to build around. So now they have built complementary pieces around a star and now don't have that star. They've traded away the pitching staff depth that they had. Glasnow was injured for a lot of his tenure, but I don't think they have done much to replace him. They have made a couple good signings here and there, especially for the bullpen. Their bullpen is going to be nice when everything else just seems to be crumbling around them. To me, I don't see them having the same type of year that they had last year, especially the way that they got bounced from the postseason. To me, everything just sort of looked like a ship without a captain, and that captain was Wander Franco. Now going to Toronto, you really think we're not able to win as many games as Toronto? And you think our pitching staff is bad? Look at that pitching staff. You don't even have a Garrett Cole in that pitching staff, and the rest of the guys in that pitching staff are the same as our guys. Alek Manoah, jack shit last year. Anything but reliable. Yusei Kikuchi had one good year. Anything but reliable. You have Kevin Gausman, who is a really good pitcher, hasn't really broken the door into elite, which Garrett Cole is the elite of the elite. He is the best pitcher in baseball at the moment. Consensus, basically. That's where I think it's just disingenuous if you really look into the finer details to say the Yankees, because Baltimore got Corbin Burns. Like, yes, if you think Baltimore is better, that's fine, because that to me is going to be the only real dogfight. They're a real problem for the Yankees. Everyone else I see as a tier below, at least, because with Boston, I see them as some of the bottom feeders of the league at this point. They don't have Sale anymore, so they can't even hope to have an ace. He's in Atlanta. They really have nothing. They don't have anything. And look, that could all change because there's still a ton of free agents still out there. You still have the guys like Cody Bellinger. You still have the Blake Snells, Jordan Montgomerys. They needed starting pitching. Maybe their offseason could look a lot better come March, come opening day. But at this moment that I am speaking to you, they look like they are just hoping to see Rafael Devers and like Tristan Casas, some of these guys, Justin Turner, they're hoping that those guys can take 5 steps forward than what they did last year. Hopefully Trevor Story can stay healthy for them and maybe make a run at that point. To me, even though I have incentive to talk shit about them because I am a Yankees fan, the AL East is better when it's the Yankees versus the Red Sox. So I would hope that they bring their A game. They are definitely not bringing their A game into 2024 as we speak. All in all, to me, it just feels fans don't know how good they had it this offseason. Feels like a lot of fans are looking at it like more. And seeing what the Dodgers are doing, I could understand the thought process, but what the Dodgers are doing is some of the riskiest shit. They gave a guy who hasn't pitched an inning in the league $325 million. They signed a guy who's coming off of Tommy John surgery, $700 million. These are risky ass deals that they are making. And yes, some of them are backloaded, so they're not as risky in the moment let's think to 2030. If that deal with Shohei doesn't work out and they're working on not making it to the World Series since 2020, now you have to pay him $68 million a year for fucking 10 years, and you're handicapping your salary at that point. And we'll see where the league is at that point. So many people want there to be a salary cap in baseball. If there's a salary cap in baseball at that point, you're hindering yourself at that. What the Dodgers did is some of the riskiest shit. And I like that the Yankees are not going to give Blake Snell everything he desires. I would love Blake Snell to be the true number 2 and then have Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, Nestor Cortez as our 5. Have Carlos Rodon be the number 3, and if he's not great, then it's not as imperative to the team. Throwing him $270 million at age 31 would be a mistake. It would be a mistake. If he's able to come down, if he's willing to do a prove-it deal, which would be tough for him to take because he just won the fucking Cy Young. Pitchers and catchers report in almost a week. Like, pitchers and catchers are reporting very soon. Blake Snell does not have time to waste here. So he may have to take a prove-it deal before he can go somewhere. Even if the Yankees don't do that, I think the Yankees should be appreciating what they did this offseason, not tearing down the Yankees at every turn. Anyways, again, I don't know if this was the longest episode. During the offseason, they may not be that long. I'm hoping for the regular season to have more structure with it because I'll have to break down some series, go over some previews for the next series. So as this offseason goes, it's just more of rambling, but once the regular season comes, this will have a little more structure to it. Hopefully you enjoyed it anyway. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button. Also, anyone has name suggestions for this, because I don't know if I love this name. King's Speech just kind of came up at the last second of making the thumbnail, and that's what I decided to go with. I just wanted sort of platform to be able to just talk since I'm just bored of this offseason. And this will be a vessel for me to go do series recaps, possibly go over possible live streams I could do, and so on and so forth. So if anyone has true name suggestions, let me know down below. If you made it this far, you're a real one. I'm out of here. Take care and peace.